Yes. I went Monday with my kids. We had a little bit of time. They wanted to get something for mom. It was a mistake. The Avon Commons were a disaster.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, like, you couldn't even get in. Like, once I got to the store, it was fine, but getting into the parking lot was a disaster. But we got it done. We figured it out.
That's where you Amazon Prime it.
I know. It was kind of late. We were pushing it.
The kids are old enough to know Santa comes in with their truck these days.
So, Joel, is this going to be your last game against this team?
I'm not sure. I kind of like last year. This year, I'm just taking it one game at a time, seeing where we're at. It is last year on my contract here in Cleveland. But I'm not really thinking about the future there. I want to, finish out this season and take some time, with the family before I make any decisions. Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
What kind of toll has this season taken on you? Not necessarily just your body, but everything.
It's frustrating. It's taken a lot. Like, winning is so much better than losing. Like, even this last game where we were, competitive and we were competing, we had a chance to go win it. Like, it's so much more fun when you're out there competing to win the games than, these 2-minute drives in the second half. So it's been tough. You see injuries around you see guys, quarterback changes, all types of things. You thrive on consistency as a player, and we just haven't quite had that, the last couple of years. So that part of it has been difficult.
Yesterday, Kevin described you as a Hall of Famer, and he's coached you for 6 years. So, just what does it mean to you to hear something like that from
Yeah, I appreciate that. I have a ton of respect for Coach Stefanski. But if anybody says that stuff, like it's very nice. You respect it, you appreciate it. That's what you do it for. You do it for the respect of your coaches and your teammates, the guys you play against. If those people have high regard for you, I think you've put it all out there. So I appreciate the sentiment.
Joel, how much have this group of rookies, young guys, and they sort of injected a little bit of youthfulness into you even?
Yeah. No, you got to be a little youthful, youthful energy. Like, our offense is full of young guys, first year, second year, and they've been obviously productive players. I kind of built like a little relationship with Mason Graham as well. Like, this guy's just like, he's from California, so we're kind of close to where we're from. And I joke about him, Carson, myself being Cali tough. We're bringing some Cali toughness to the team. At one point in my career, I think Coach Pettin called us Cali soft. The guys from California were Cali soft guys, So I'm trying to change that with Cali toughness. But these young guys, if I'm building a culture and a team, like, you build through Carson and Mason and Harold and Samp. Q obviously got hurt. Like, these guys all are love football. They want to be here. They work hard. Like, all things you look for in great teammates. So it's been great to have them, and I'm excited for the future.
Joel, a lot of fans and others are down on Kevin because of the record the last 2 years. What's the argument to bring him back?
To me, I think he's a good coach in the NFL. I think he's a good football coach. We have not won, and he will tell you firsthand, like, winning matters in this league, and we haven't done that. But as a coach goes, I have the highest respect for him, what he's done here, and it's I know it is what for you done now, but like, we've been to 2 playoff games, we've had winning records, we've been competitive. Is it where we're at? Right now we don't want to be there. But I think if we get the right pieces and we keep improving, like, I think that's a guy you can build around. 2-time coach of the year, like, he has respect of his peers. He's even killed. I think you saw it this last week. Like, the team is motivated to play. Like, we're trying to win games. I think he has respect of the locker room. I think it's just a guy you keep around and you build around, and that would be my focus if I was in charge of that.
You've played for coaches with similar records. So what makes him unique? Is it all the stuff you said?
Yeah, I think there's also a history. Like, some of the other coaches that I've played for they had 3 wins. They didn't have 11 wins. They didn't have playoff wins. They didn't have playoff appearances. They didn't have a 6-year sample size. We are not where we want to be. We expect to be higher. But if you want to go look back at the preseason rankings, I think everybody had us at 31 or 32, and that's not what we strive for or what we want. But you talk about expectations and reality and things of that nature, like, I have the utmost respect for him, and I just think you keep allowing him to coach the Browns. I think you will be in a good place in the future.
The challenge of coaching a team that has 9 different quarterbacks in 2 years, does that say something about him?
Yeah, you saw it in 2023, right? We had 5 different quarterbacks start games, or 6, or however many it was. And then the last 2 years, it's been a rotation of quarterbacks. And we're working. We have a couple young rookie quarterbacks that are playing and showing promise. But until that quarterback position is solved in the NFL, like, it is hard to win games. It is the most important position in sports, and you're trying to build a defense that has shown that they can be elite, and you want to build around these great quarterbacks. But yes, it is difficult for a coach to have to navigate that.
Joe, you've obviously played Pittsburgh so many times. This is Shedur's first time. Any tips you can give him, and then just what makes it so hard for a rookie quarterback to play in this game?
Yeah, it's a rivalry game. They're tough. They're physical. They're going to try and play bully ball. Like, that's kind of what it's been. You can see it on tape, the way they play. They're obviously playing well right now, and they're I think inspired by that. And so we know it's going to be a challenge, and I think you have to answer the call. Like, it's going to be a physical game. You have to answer with physicalness and trying to win those one-on-one matchups. But for him, it's just stay the course, stay calm, and make the plays when they're there.
I know there's no perfect team in the NFL, but as far as like the winning teams in the league, they seem to always be like the poster child of the deficient team. Why though year in and year out, when you prepare for them and you watch them on film and you're studying them, why are they just able to, no matter what they may not have, why are they always able to contend year in and year out, even as not, a complete team?
Yeah, I think, and they have consistency from the general manager to the head coach to players that have been there. I mean, if you look at the guy, like, I go against the D-line mostly, right? And they just draft, like, the same guy, like 6'4", 6'5", 320 to 340 pound, just big, strong guy. That's their culture of their D-line. That's who they build around. And so when someone goes down or someone moves, like, they can plug that guy in. That's like, hey, we've developed you over the years. We've kept this guy. We've drafted this guy, and they've developed these players. So they haven't switched systems on defense. Like, they change things, but, like, it's just the same consistency. And then, Coach Tomlin, I'm sure, preaches a certain standard and a certain culture. And he's done that for 20 years now. And they find a way to win. And is it always pretty? No. But that's just the culture they've built there. And it seems like it when anybody's out there, they kind of buy into that culture, and they've been successful with it.
Why were you guys able to run the ball better against Buffalo?
I think we executed our blocks a little bit better. I think Shedeur opened it up a little bit with some of those scrambles. 40 yards or however many it was is like going to help the run game a lot. I think Malachi has been great on like reverses and end arounds and those type of things. And then there was a lot of cover two. Like, we couldn't take as many shots because they would disguise and drop to cover two. But that also lightened the box for us to be able to run the ball a little bit better.
I saw Tomlin had a quote the other day that without Watt and Herbig, that he said interior guys are going to have to dominate this game. And you talked about facing those guys. Just how good are they in there? The ability for them to beat on them when they need to.
Well, yeah, Cam Hayward's the leader of the group in there, and he's still playing at a high level. Even though he's getting older and older, he's still playing really well. But then they have a couple young guys, that have come out there and especially against the runner, like real run stoppers, and they've done a great job. And then 95 playing the nose, and then he'll rush as well and sub. He makes plays for them, but there's just like 3 big guys that hold their gaps. They're a true 2-gap team, which you don't see as much anymore, but they hold their gaps, and the linebackers have kind of made plays off of them.
Joe, what's the between play interaction like between you and Cam? 2 veteran guys like you that have gone up so many times. Imagine.
Yeah, it's a lot. If we're working together on a play, like if we pass off a twist or something, there's usually like, good job, something of that nature. If there's a miscommunication, we try and get on it. If we feel something, like it's just like simple communication between plays and what he feels, and if he needs something from me communication-wise or something like that. But getting to know him, I mean, I've really enjoyed it. He works hard. He wants to be good out there. And it's been easy for him to fill in, and we've had probably 10 weeks now together, and so it's been nice.
But I mean, the interaction between you and Cam Hayward.
Oh, Cam Hayward! I thought you were talking about the left tackle. I was like, yeah, we don't really say much. I think there's a mutual respect, but he's out there. He's trying to lead his defense. He's trying to be, a physical presence, and I'm trying to block him.
I just didn't know if
I mean, like I said, there's a mutual. Usually at the captain's coin toss, there's a, how's it going? Like good luck, and then after the game, good game, and we're kind of on our way.
So the Pro Bowl really discriminates against big fellas, huh?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Truthfully, like the guards that got in for the AFC are all good players and stuff. I do think it's a little weird that they only pick and choose which positions have alternates now. They've changed it where like offensive linemen, defensive ends, kickers. There's no alternates for those positions, which if they want to do that all around, like I understand. But if you're going to have alternates for other positions, I feel like Pro Bowls in the future might be a little bit, off kiltered there.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, no disrespect to the guys that played 6 games. Joe Alt, like he's a great player, and I think he has a lot of Pro Bowls in his future. But unless you're starting, over half the games, I feel like it's hard to be like, yes, this guy's a Pro Bowl and take the list really seriously. So there's some things that they can clean up, and there wasn't really much communication. Dan kind of told me like they're not really doing alternates like the day before the list came out. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So we'll see. I don't know. I like I said, I had a lot of respect for the guys that did make it, and it's still, especially for a lineman, like you don't have stats, you don't have anything to back it up. So Pro Bowls, all pros are kind of your resume, and so to not have an opportunity if someone is hurt, or just to know, like even if you're like, oh, you're second alternate, like that's still a lot of respect in this league as like a player. Like, oh, you're the 4th best guard in the AFC. Like I feel like there's respect that comes with that, and just knowing it as a player. And truthfully, as a young guy, like for a guard to get your foot in the door, sometimes you have to be an alternate to get in. And now they're not giving those guys a chance. So, they make those decisions. I know they want to go do flag football and watch the guys throw around, but I know it was always a fun trip for the linemen that got to make it.